Well, hello everybody and welcome to Lunch Break Live. Real talk about obesity, food obsession, recovery, and what's really eating you. I am Cari Cruz coming at you today back in my normal digs in front of my normal little easel camera. It always feels so much better when I'm firmly planted, you know? There must be something about that. On today's show, keep your eyes on your own paper. But before I go there, especially for my newer viewers who want to know just who in the world I am and why I have any business talking about this, well, you'll have to decide that. But I can tell you, I'm a 2007 gastric bypass post-op, living life in recovery from obesity and compulsive overeating as twice the woman in half the body. I'm also a recovery rebel and strategist, so I say stuff that other people don't say, and I don't sugarcoat it because that's what got me here in the first place. And I help people to find and own their own crap so they can find and own their recovery. So that's me. I am, as ever, grateful that you guys are all with me. And before I check in with you, I've just got to say, God bless you, Houston, and everyone who is in the path of that slow-moving tropical storm Harvey doing such devastation. My heart is with all of you there. I'm just sorry that you're going through this and you are showing such courage and bravery. And so I just want you to know, I think we're all thinking of you and sending prayers your way. Stay safe and keep your chin up for sure. All right, so there's that. I guess I would say you guys are helping me to remember what matters most. All right, so, all right, let's see here. Let's see who's here. Do I have any newer viewers? Dying to know if you're a newer viewer. Maybe this is your first or even second time here. Maybe it's your first time joining me live. Let me know. Give me a little shout out. Let me know that you are here. And, okay, if you're driving like Susan, keep both hands, 10 and 2, hands on the wheel. That's all right. I'll just know that you are listening. So let me see who else is here. So grateful that you guys are here. Nina, I haven't seen you in a while. Nina and Judy and Tina. I feel like you're like a newer viewer. Maybe I've seen you a few times, but welcome in. So glad you're here. Nancy, Freya, my very first roommate in the whole entire world. I mean, after my parents, And yes, I did introduce her to her husband, and yes, they are still married to this day. Okay, and I'll just tell you because this is super fun. She got married let's see, on my birthday, and I got married on her birthday. It's kind of funny. So anyway, hi, I love you. All right, let's see, Nancy, Melissa, my champion sharer. So glad you're here. Isn't this a good place to be? I don't know about you guys, but I love this place. I am so happy to be here with you. It gives my heart a hug, and I mean that, and I just feel better being with you. I feel so supported and loved by you guys. So thank you so much for that, for being so willing to be open and generous with that. So Susan, who is driving out there, Aaron. Okay, I'm thinking this is Patricia, not Aaron, but hey, whichever Miller it is, welcome in. So glad you're here. And Dennis, I feel like you are a newer viewer. Welcome. And Michelle Jimenez on week 3 here as a post-op. Congratulations. And Sniggy, I haven't seen you in a while, but I've seen your post. I commented on a post today of yours. I can't remember what it was. And Joan, and first-time viewer, welcome, Tina, welcome. So glad you're here. I'm hoping you'll make a regular habit out of joining me, whether it's live or on demand. I'm so happy that you are here. Christina, with the sprained ankle. Missy, I'm glad it's not a break, but ouch, sprains hurt too. You take it easy, Missy. All right, and my mama with 2 good eyes, both of them now cataract-free, and unless they do cataract removal on your third eye, that's a joke for all of my Eastern mysticism friends. I think you're in good shape, Mama. So thank you. You're such a trooper. My mom is a trooper, you guys. Not easy to go through this. And she bore up under the pressure and looked pretty good doing it in her cute dress today. So God love you, Mom. I love you, and I'm glad you're through it. Cynthia, hi there. Oh, I love that you are here with me, too. And it isn't great. Don't you feel supported being here with all of these other great people who are right here in the trenches with you? We're not alone. That's what this show proves. All right, so welcome in. Really glad that you guys are here. I'm going to dive in because I'm really excited about this. First of all, how many of you guys have heard me before and have heard me use the expression, keep your eyes on your own paper? How many of you guys have heard me say that? You could just shoot me thumbs up, and maybe if one of you wants to type me an explanation of what I mean by that. Yep, Mom, you've heard me say that over and over and over. Keep your eyes on your own paper. What does that mean? Are you able to type quickly? If not, I can fill in a little bit of the blanks. Hi, Belinda, welcome in. All right. I'm going to explain it for you as someone might be typing the answers. All right. So here are my thoughts on this first before I launch into explaining exactly what that means. Now, recovery is a private journey that we deal with, and often we deal with in public. I need to restate that because this is such a good statement, and I have too many words in my paper, and it's like, start over. This live program is uneditable. So that means when it's out there, and it ain't coming back. Recovery is a private journey we make to deal with what are often public struggles. Okay, so what that means is it's a private journey that we have, but we are making to deal with our public struggles. So for example, if we are struggling with obesity, well, that is something we wear all over ourselves, isn't it? You know, it's really hard to hide that when we're struggling with it and we're not treating it, right? People can see when we are successfully treating it and when we aren't, but what they can't see, not usually because we're pretty good at hiding it, they can't see the internal struggle with things like obsession, compulsion, addiction, right? And if you're like me, you can hide that stuff pretty well, right? I did for a lot of years. I hid that from myself especially, right? You can hide it, and you cannot let anybody know how antagonized you are day in and day out and how powerless you feel to stop it. That was my life for years and years and years. If you're like me, you can also hide binging from others. Yeah, I did a lot of binging. As long as the scale doesn't betray the behavior, right, your secret is safe with you as it eats you alive. Okay, so recovery is this private journey we make to often public struggles, but other times they are struggles that we hide from the world and from ourselves and others can't see. So it's very tricky business. So if you are like many people that I have met on this journey, then you set out to address your obesity and now find yourself in a battle with alcohol, right, or some other destructive behavior. So of course, you hide it pretty well, and when you don't hide it, you only show it in acceptable ways, like on Facebook, when you're out enjoying that margarita you earned for being so good all week, right? Bottoms up. Okay, so you show it in celebratory ways and seemingly effortless ways, and right, and then inside you're beating yourself up. Okay, so the point is not what I think about it, though. That's really the message of today. The point is not what I think about it or what anyone thinks about it, besides you, for that matter, right? It's what you think about it. What do you think about it? Because what you think about it, about yourself, is eating you up, and you're often overfeeding it. Because what you think about yourself isn't all that healthy, okay? All right, so most of you guys are here because you're waging a battle with something, whether it's privately or publicly or both, okay? And you're here because something's eating you up, and you're overfeeding it. Whatever it is that you are overfeeding it. And you're here because I say stuff that you think in your own minds, and you're like totally shocked that I know what you're thinking, especially when your disease, my disease, our disease, wants us to believe that we are totally alone and misunderstood, and nobody could possibly get us because we're crazy. Our diseases thrive on loneliness and vulnerability, fear, isolation, desperation, denial, and shame. Those are not things you want to share with the world. Those are things that eat you up, and you do your best to keep them hidden and to keep them shoved down with whatever unhealthy behavior is that you're going to use against it, right? You do not want to air that dirty laundry with the world. And the thing is, I'm here saying it out loud. And you're like, oh my gosh, how does she know? I thought I hid it. Because you're not hiding anything. You're sharing the very same feelings with all of us, all right? We're only as sick as the secrets we keep, right? All right, and here's the thing. Those diseases begin to lose their strength when we what? We come together like this. We band together with others and we begin to feel understood. That's shining a light in that darkened corner and all those little roaches scurry. You turn the lights on, they scurry. That's what this is all about. We are shining a light on this disease that wants to live in the darkness and thrive. And when we bring it out on a show like this and when we all come together, we begin to feel understood and forgiven and even loved. All right? That is the benefit of this show. But despite all of this really good hard work that I'm doing and you guys are doing, there are people out there who want to tell you that what I'm doing or what you're doing is wrong. There are people out there that have the audacity to do that. And they're going to say, oh, you don't need a 12-step program or a support group. And you know what? You don't have an addiction problem. And as if that weren't enough, when you try to get help, right, you get shot down in the very places that you're trying to get help. Have you ever experienced that, right? You're in support group. And that is like people are saying stuff that's not very healthy and not very supportive at all, right? Why? Why does that happen? I think it's ego. Pure and simple ego, right? We will do whatever it takes to protect our fragile ego, especially if we can feel better about it. You know what? A lot of us are very practiced at this art form, okay? How do we feel better about it? By putting other people down. It's real easy, right? I'm going to step on you and then I'll feel taller. All right? And that is why one of the basic tenets of OA, AA, 12-step programs, Overeaters Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, is to sweep your own side of the street. Now, that's been there for a very long time. Sweep your own side or clean your own side of the street, which is fun. I get it. In this day and age, that's a little odd because most people don't sweep their side of the street, if they sweep at all, because someone else will do it for you. You know, like on Thursdays or Tuesdays when you're not allowed to park your car at the curb because the street sweeper is going to come by and take it. You know, it's somebody else's problem. That's the beauty of it. You know, the crap in my gutter, it's someone else's problem. They'll come by and just take care of it for me. And you know what that means? Since someone else is handling it for me, I have much more time to worry about someone else's problems. Yeah, I have time to worry about you and what you're doing, what you're not doing. I can focus on you because someone else is cleaning my side of the street. Okay. Like, I don't know, what kinds of things could I think? Like how much weight that person hasn't lost or how much they've regained. Oh, yeah, I could totally think about that. Or how much loose skin they have. And how dare they wear shorts and a sleeveless top in the middle of summer. Boy, they have some nerve hanging that out for the world to see. And you know what? I have more time to worry about whether someone is saying the right thing or wearing the right thing or eating the right thing or, I don't know, being the right thing. And of course, that leaves very little time to worry about me. And if you're doing that, it leaves very little time for you to worry about yourself and your own crap, right? Distraction. So when I say keep your eyes on your own paper, it's a throwback to school. Remember in school, right? On test days, the teacher would hand out the paper and say, keep your eyes on your own paper, no copying answers from your neighbor, right? And I translate that to mean no looking at what your neighbor's doing. Take your own test, do your own thing, work your own program, okay? If I'm looking to the left or I'm looking to the right, then I'm not dealing with my own crap. When I take my eyes off my own crap and my work, guess what I see? Well, I might see people that are more successful than I am. And I see people who are more active than I am. And I see people who are more creative than I am. Oh my gosh, that's a hard one to tolerate. And I see people that actually copy what they see on Pinterest and it looks like it. This is the one that kills me, all right? The Pinterest people that can actually make the Christmas wreath look like the one in the picture. Those people, that's what I see when I take my eyes off my own work, and it's not pretty. That one hurts. All right, here's the thing. When I am busy focusing on other people, which usually involves criticism and belittling, I'm not doing my work, okay? I'm actually participating in my own addiction as a dry drunk. Because that's all the stuff that I used to feed, criticism and judgment and belittling and putting other people down so I'd feel better. And then I would feel bad about it, so I'd eat over it. But now I'm just, doing it. If I don't keep my eyes on my own paper and I'm just out there doing that and cutting people off at the knees, yeah, I'm still participating in my addiction. So I may not be eating yellow zingers, but I am definitely filling myself up with really unhealthy crap. Okay? So, want to know how this looks specifically. All right. I got shrinkles. You know, I just do. I got shrinkles. You shrink out of your wrinkles, that's what you're left with. Loose skin, baby. All right? Unfortunately, here's the truth. Mine are not as severe as others. I get that. So I could do a pretty good job of hiding them. I really can. Until I sit down. or really, I sit in, I sit in my former nether region. It kind of puddles. I don't want to get too graphic here. Let's just say shrinkles, not pretty. And the point is, here's the thing. It's mine. Okay, those are my shrinkles. And what happens when I sit in them is my business, nobody else's, right? And here's the funny thing. What happens when people say, oh man, you don't look like you have a shrinkly stomach. Ooh, but I really see it now. Oh yeah, when you wear that, oh, it's really showing. Okay, don't lean over, by the way, because ooh, it's like meat falling from the bone. Don't do that, right? It's like, oh God, right? Now I'm getting all self-aware and self-critical and oh my gosh, self-conscious, right? Okay, what if, and this happened to me, okay? This was a shocker to me. What happens if I'm exercising and I'm doing push-ups and I'm not wearing a snug shirt, right? Okay, I may be wearing an exercise bra, but I'm wearing a t-shirt that kind of falls forward and oh my God, the first time I saw this, it was like my stomach hanging down like tender pork ribs falling from the bone. It was not pretty and I was stunned. And I thought, oh, that's nothing I need to look at, right? And the way I see it, if anyone else is looking at that, well, they're probably hungry. But more importantly, they are not concentrating on doing their own push-ups. If they are busy worrying about what's going on under my shirt when I'm doing push-ups, they're not paying attention to their own work, their own push-ups. So who's the one paying the bigger price? That's the question I have, right? Me, because of my shrinkly belly that I already know about? Or the person who felt the need to point it out to me? Who do you think's got the bigger issue here? I'm going to say it's them because, I don't know, maybe they're right. And oh, well, yeah, that's just the way it is. See, that's a big tool for me. And, right, where do we go from here? Yep, that skin is just hanging from the bones. Yep, and it's a really big tool for me. So let's play it out for a second because I want you guys to know exactly what I mean, how and might look. All right, so let's say someone says to me, hey, just between you and me and the whole entire class, you probably shouldn't wear pants, like yoga pants at yoga, because your skin is loose and it looks really bad when you're doing downward dog. All right, let's say someone says that. Well, I could say this. I could say, and this is really fun. I love to have fun with people. You may not want to do this, but I could say, oh, got it. Yeah, you know what? You're a newbie at this. Don't worry, you'll get the poses right. And you know what? Once you're looking the right way and you're focused on your inner peace, you won't even notice your own imperfections, let alone somebody else's. So tell you what, you just keep working at it, you'll catch up eventually. Okay, that's how I might do it. Have a little fun with it, right? Or they could say that to me and say, yeah, you shouldn't wear yoga pants at yoga because your skin is loose and it looks really bad when you're doing downward dog. You know what I could say? I could say, oh, yeah, then leave that really awkward pause, the silence. Oh. Well, now, where do we go from there? It's your turn to talk because I stopped, right? What do you got to say next? It's very uncomfortable for them. So I could do that. It's very, very powerful. Oh, so the thing is, okay, you could get mad or you could just let it go. And this is the important thing, not carry it with you for the rest of the day. Okay, leave that one at the yoga studio. Leave that one on the yoga mat, okay? Roll it up and leave it. All right, which is, of course, very hard. I do understand that because you know why? You know why it's so hard to leave it there? Because we often believe it about ourselves, right? We believe the thing that those people are saying about us, and we believe that we're disgusting and that we have no business doing what we're doing. And okay, that's where keeping your eyes on your own paper, see, really matters. So if someone says something to you that plays into your own insecurities, that's on them, okay? That's on them unless you let it be on you. Do you see? Are you beginning to understand this? All right, let's keep working through it. The minute you give it power by feeling bad, getting hurt, getting mad, feeling sad, whatever, that is the minute you give it more life than it ever deserved in the first place. And whether that insult comes from someone else or from you, we often insult ourselves brutally, relentlessly, and liberally. It is the same thing, especially when you nurture it and let it fester, because that's what it does. And then it begins to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it begins to spread out and infect other areas of our life. It becomes way more important than it should be, which is what I said at the top of the show when I look at people like Houston that are in Houston, and I say, they're showing me what matters most. Pretty sure none of those people are worried about what the scale says, and they're not worried about their shrinkly bellies. They're focused on what matters most. Now, here's an odd piece of the process. We often make things about us that aren't even about us in the first place. We do. I'm like queen of doing that. I have a lot of practice that. Why? Because we're not keeping our eyes on our own paper. That's just all there is to it, right? So we're reading stuff into what other people say, and then, we decide it's about us, whether it's about us or not, all right? Whether they say, this is about you or not, I've decided it's about me. Well, okay, no matter what they say or no matter what you say, how about if I say, so? So someone says it about me and I go, so? No power. Let it fall to the ground, right? You saw Matrix where he puts his hands out and the bullets stop and they drop to the ground. That's how I view evil, ugly words coming from other persons. I just go, so? And? Oh, well, right? What would happen if that person said it to my face? Maybe they were just writing about it or telling someone else and someone else is saying, guess what so-and-so said about you or whatever, right? What would happen if they said it to my face? Would I die of shame, embarrassment, humiliation? Okay? Or would I just say, oh, I see, and let it go? I like to think that I have been working on this, that I would say, I see, and let it go. That's it. No more energy. Stop the bullets right where they are, right? Because what other people say about me is none of my business. That's just the bottom line, right? So here's some tools that I use in my own recovery, all right? Remember, I'm a recovering people pleaser, and that means I'm a worrier of what people think of me. That's what I'm in recovery for, right? What are they thinking about me? I think they're thinking terrible things about me. Oh, what if they don't think good things about me? What if they don't think highly? Why are they thinking about me? Yeah, that was me, obsessive thinker and people pleaser. So I'm in recovery for that. So I've learned to ask myself a few questions now in this process in order to get me through. And tools are very important. When we talk about recovery strategy, we're talking about tools that we can use to combat all of these emotions that are just wreaking havoc and just running amok untended, right? Okay, it's time to put those emotions on timeout. Here we go. Number one, if I hear something and my instinct is to go, oh, that hurts, that hurts. All right, how does this benefit me in my recovery? Well, pretty much it doesn't. Okay, unless there's a lesson for me to learn. Is there truth to it? Okay, I got to look at that, right? Or is this just junk? Is this just someone else's crap that they're throwing at me and hoping I'll take on? All right, how does this benefit me in my recovery? Is this really about me in the first place, or am I filling in the blanks? I'm good at that, right? Filling in the blanks, going, they must be talking about me. I don't know. Is this really about me, or am I filling in the blanks? Do I need to pay attention to this at all, or just let it go? Do I need to give this any energy, or do I just move on, let it go, all right? Do I need to defend myself? This is a biggie. Remember I talked about defending the indefensible, right? Or do I just step aside and let it pass, right? Just step aside, let it pass. Let it go right by. Do I need to defend myself in the first place? How much of this am I doing to myself by giganticizing and catastrophizing it? A lot of us are very, very good because we're drama queens and kings, okay? And we make it really, really big so that we can react in this way, and then we can, what? Go to our familiar go-to obsessions and addictions and compulsions and all of that stuff, and we can go eat to make ourselves feel better. Or we can go drink to make ourselves feel better, or go shopping for retail therapy, right? If we giganticize and catastrophize enough, oh yeah, then I'll have a good reason. No. Are we making a big deal out of this? And finally, do I believe what's being said here? Ding, ding, ding. How many of us plug into it because we believe it about ourselves? Whether it's true or not, do we believe it about ourselves, right? That's a biggie. Because if I believe what they're saying, I got my work cut out for me, don't I? That's my work to do. And I need to go back and maybe listen to some of my own shows from the past year. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. So those are some things. Those are some questions, tools that I whip out to ask myself when it is that I stop keeping my eyes on my own paper and I start hearing stuff that I don't need to hear, or I start looking for trouble, right? Because when you go looking for trouble, you always find it because you know where trouble lives. All right. Our false pride wants us to believe that we must defend ourselves. But I think that's a distraction. What's the big deal if I don't defend myself? You're going to think what you think. Oh, well. Even if I did defend myself, you might still think what you think. So, oh well, right? Humility says, this is a biggie, got to swallow for this one, okay? All right, square your shoulders. I'm going to leave that situation out there and not take it on. I'm not going to give it any power or any importance because you know what? It's not worth my peace. I refuse to give my peace and serenity over to someone who has no interest in fostering peace or serenity. And truth be told, they're probably miserable and plagued by insecurity and anger and resentment and pain anyway. Let them take their own test, all right? You do your work, and I promise all of that noise, all of that static that you hear right now, all of that is going to fade into the background. It will. It's just going to become white noise. It's just out there. It's just chatter, but it has no energy. It has no meaning. And it's just like murmuring in the room. You don't understand conversations, but everybody's talking, right? You're not zeroing in on it. It only matters if you make it matter. It only matters if you make it matter. I don't care if it matters to somebody else. I don't care. I don't care if my shrinkly belly hanging off the bones matters to somebody else. It only matters to me if I make it matter. Okay? It's always up to you. All right, here's a side note for you. People used to say things to me that weren't very nice. I mean, I have a history of that. And they don't do that anymore. Not really. Want to know why? I don't let them. That's the bottom line. I don't allow it. It's not acceptable anymore. Or I don't hear them. Or the words don't hit their intended target. I just don't let them hit the target, all right? The funny thing is most people will stop firing at you if they don't hit the target, okay? They'll move on to a softer target, which I used to be. I was a soft target, right? I was, come and get me. Take it out. Give me your worst, and I'll take it on because I believe it about myself anyway. I don't believe it about myself anymore. What you have to say about me is none of my business. So they don't say stuff about me anymore because I don't think I allow it, okay? And if they do say it, I don't hear it. I don't listen. None of my business, right? All right. Well, then again, here's the funny thing. How do I know I was ever a target if I was always making it about me anyway? Huh. Well, that's something to think about, isn't it? It's just wasted energy, you guys. Just wasted energy. And I don't know about you, but I got way, way more important things to do than to worry about what someone thinks about me or this show or my work or my hair. All right, I had to work through that. I was having a little issue there. Do I care what people think about my hair? No. No, I don't. I don't care what people think about my wrinkles or my shrinkles or anything else or the work that I am doing. No way. I don't have time for that. I'm going to keep my eyes on my own paper because I want to know the joy of living in recovery. Because I know what the misery of addiction feels like. I know what the misery of obesity and obsession and despair feel like. I know what I choose. And what I want to know is, what do you guys choose? Are you going to choose to give someone else power over you? Are you going to choose to give your own misery power over you? Or are you going to let it go? Are you going to set it aside and say, I don't have time for that. I've got work to do. And that work looks like recovery. And you know what? I am not letting anyone rob me of my peace and my serenity. All right? I am going to hold on to that for all it's worth. Okay? That's what I want to know. And if you aren't really sure how to respond next time somebody says something really yucky to you, here's what you can say. And let it go. All right? It's up to them to fill in that dead space, and I wonder what they'll say. All right? So I am going to sign off now with that, but before I do, I am going to thank my patrons. It is so very important to me. You guys, you are making a difference, and you're letting me know that I'm making a difference, and I really, really appreciate that so much. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting the work, Real Recovery here. Real talk about real recovery. That's what we're doing here every single day. So thank you guys so very much. If you would like to support the program, $5 a month if you want, just go to CariDelaCruz.com/Patreon. That's Patreon. I know there's an extra E in the middle there, and that will take you to my Patreon page, and you can learn all about what recovery work looks like, all right? So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Again, prayers going out to Houston. And finally, God bless you, Mom. I'm so glad you have 2 good eyes now so that you can really see what you've been missing. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to remind you all to have courage, seek peace, embrace joy, and above all, live your recovery. Remember, you can't stop feeding what's eating you if you don't know what's eating you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, share the show. Take care. Bye.